Hello and welcome to Child Abuse Awareness with Darlene J. Clark. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Please like, subscribe, and share. How are you doing there, Hug Sister? Start off with reading the Bible verses. Matthew 18, verse 6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Matthew 18, verse 10. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. In Isaiah 1:17, learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take up the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might other be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips and balance in favor of fair use. Doing good. I'm just a little sore. I had tripped and hit the pavement the other day. So I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm okay. Thank you. See what this is very disturbing, the story today. Patricia Saintizaire, 36-year-old from Polk County, Florida. Mom beat and murdered her adopted son. We'll find out more about this short in a few minutes. I heard about this morning. I said this really needs done, and so I set this up, trying to go ahead, log into my other laptop if it would do right this time. Yeah, I'm bruised pretty bad in my neck and everything, but I'm all right. I hope. Hope and pray, huh? The least we could do is trying to get that other laptop right there. Hopefully it would do right. Welcome everybody who just came in. Thank you so much. So let me share this. I will have to cut off my mic because you'll want to hear the audio. Without further ado,
facing charges in the horrific murder of her 4-year-old son. Now, we do want to warn you, the visuals you're about to see may be hard to watch. Because you can see in this video, we've paused, the child's hands tied behind his back when police say his mother tossed him into a swimming pool. It's unclear how the child made it out. In another video, we've paused, the boy is face down with his mother allegedly beating him on the back. Police say last Wednesday the child was taken to a hospital after his older brother noticed he appeared sluggish. That's when officials say they discovered evidence of long-term abuse.
As the autopsy went on, they found different layers of bruises and injuries from past beatings. and he's dead. He's dead because she beat him to death.
36-year-old Patricia Saintizaire is charged with first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and witness tampering.
Thank you very much for being with us today. I am going to tell you a sad story, a very sad story, about a 4-year-old little boy, and a sad ending to a very sad story. He was born in Haiti to a mother who didn't want him. And so he was adopted in Haiti by this lady whose sister was in the United States. It took 3 years for the adoption process to go through, and ultimately the 4-year-old ended up here in the United States. It's called the Biden program, and so supposedly it's a sped up adoption. So the child's born to a mother who doesn't want it. We have no idea who that mother is. The sister of our suspect is in the process of getting the child for her sister, who is Patricia Saintizaire. Patricia's 36 years of age. She's already got a 16-year-old son that she has adopted from Haiti. The 4-year-old comes here as a 3-year-old only a year ago. And what we've learned during this investigation just turns our stomach. We have a video clip of where that 3-year-old baby's hands was tied behind his back, and she threw him in a swimming pool in the backyard. We received on May 1st a call. May 1st, the child went to the hospital. So why did the child go to the hospital? Heart of Florida in Haines City, but they live in Davenport. The little fella got off of the bus. He was happy. Everything seemed to be all right. The 16-year-old noticed he was happy. They were home. Patricia, the 16-year-old, and now the little dead fella who's 4. The 16-year-old notices later on that he's lethargic, that he's not responding. Patricia says he's faking it. Give him something to eat. He can't eat. He goes unconscious. The 16-year-old has been saying he needs to go to the hospital. He needs to go to the hospital. He needs to go to the hospital. Heart of Florida thinks he has a significant issue, sends him to Orlando Health. Orlando Health tries to work with him, and ultimately he dies. He goes to the medical examiner's office, and that's when we get involved a couple of days later. We find injuries where this child has been beaten. In addition to the video we found in the investigation of his hands tied behind him and thrown into the pool. We found an injury where his spleen suffered a significant tear. The medical examiner said it could have been nothing else other than an immediate hard strike to the abdomen. And as the autopsy went on, they found different layers of bruises and injuries from past beatings. And he's dead. He's dead because she beat him to death. We don't know, obviously, how he got out of the pool after he was thrown in there with his hands tied behind his back. We have a video of that. We're going to show it to you at the end of this news release. She's charged with murder, aggravated child abuse. The investigation's still underway. Her husband was clearly at work at the time this event occurred. She was the disciplinarian. He was a student at Laufman Oaks, and despite his abusive treatment, they said he was a happy child. And this never should have happened. Ladies and gentlemen, it is beyond my wildest imagination how anyone could abuse a beautiful little fella like this child was abused and neglected. But the investigation is still ongoing. We don't believe we know all that this child suffered. We have another video clip where he's face down on the floor and she's beating him in the back. And he's not even resisting it. It's just like it's a normal occurrence. You know, the positive, if you search for a positive, is that he's in the arms of God right now. And he's no longer being beaten. He's no longer being punched. He's no longer being tied up and thrown in the swimming pool. That now he's, as our Christian belief, that he's living the life there where he's surrounded by love and things are great, like he should have been surrounded by love and things should have been great here on earth for him. So every day when you see these little guys and gals that are on their way to school, understand that there's a small percentage of them that are being neglected and abused, and we need to know about that immediately. And when you go home tonight, hug your children a little tighter. Give them an extra kiss when you put them to bed. And thank God that you have those children, and they are miracles, and that you have the opportunity to show them the right way, to raise them the right way, to teach them the right way, and then understand that we need to say prayers for these children that we have yet discovered. It would have been great if we could have found this child and rescued him before he was beaten to death. The 16-year-old is in protective custody at this time. He is obviously no longer at the home. Are there any questions?
Have there been any other DCF calls or anything to this house, or anything that makes you guys?
That's still under investigation. I don't know if there were other DCF calls there or not, but our team, our homicide team, is simply the very best. These cases are difficult to work. Our victims deceased, we've got to work on timelines and time frames of injuries and types of injuries. And this was a very complicated case for them to work, and they're still gathering details and evidence.
How about with the school sheriff? When your investigators spoke with school officials, had they seen any warning signs? Is that on their radar at all?
I don't know if we've had a chance to circle around with the school officials yet to see if they've seen or heard anything, because we have been intensely investigating the instant event. That will be on part of the investigative protocol. But as you know, we release information as soon as it's reasonable so that you know what we know. And some of that investigation happens in the later stages of the investigation.
These videos, were they on the suspect's phone or who?
They were on the suspect's phone.
And the 16-year-old, was the 16-year-old abused or
The-
also a victim?
At this point in time, he looks fine. He was coached to lie to us when we first talked to him. After we got Patricia in jail and away from him, he then told us, hey, I was told to lie to you. So that will be part of the subsequent investigation, but there's no obvious instant injuries, but certainly that will be part of the follow-up investigation.
Sheriff, do you think that Patricia could be facing more charges than the ones that are listed here?
Well, we've loaded her up with all of the charges that we know about right now, but certainly depending on what the rest of the investigation tells us, that you can be sure that my detectives will file every criminal charge possible, depending on where the rest of the investigation leads us.
So was her husband never around when this abuse took place?
Apparently not. You know, once again, those are the layers of the onion. We're not completely through yet, but at least when this injury that caused the death occurred, based upon the severeness of the injury and how bad that the child would have regressed from the injury, he was clearly not there. Now, follow-up investigation will help determine what he knew, when he knew it, if he knew it. But if you can believe this, they've lawyered up. So when you lawyer up, because we're investigating injuries to your child and you won't cooperate with us, that's a clue.
Sheriff, did she express remorse or explain her behavior to you?
Oh, no, she didn't.
Sheriff, is there any more you can tell us about her personal and professional life? There's something on social media that could indicate she may be working in childcare.
No, she worked for ABC Liquors in the corporate office, I'm told, over in Orlando. She lived in Davenport.
Do you know how long she lived in the States?
I don't know. But it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. But I can assure you of this, that if you hear something or see something or believe something or think something about a child being neglected or abused, if you call us, I can assure you that we'll completely and thoroughly investigate it with DCF. Because our number one goal in this organization is to protect the children. And that's why we go after child predators. That's why we go after pornographers. That's why we go after child abusers. And we certainly go after child murderers. Okay? And they'll make sure you have the clips and what you do with them. Or we're going to show them up here, or are you just going to give them to them? Both. Do you have the one, which one are we showing first? Okay, this is where he's beaten in the bed. That's not a corporal punishment spanking, that's a beating.
Can you do that again? Can you hold this again?
Now, if we can show it slow and stop it, you'll be able to clearly see his hands tied behind his back. This makes me so angry I can't see straight. Back it up just a little bit, B. Maybe one more frame. You see his hands right there tied behind his back? And she grabs him by the arm and slings him into the pool.
Sheriff, I think we had your notes wrong. It's liver, not spleen.
Okay, liver.
Yes, sir.
Okay, a significant injury to the liver.
She moved here in 2015.
So she's been here 8 years. All right? If that's not enough to upset your day, nothing will be.
Wow. It's horrendous.
Wow.
Anybody could give hearts for this little child. Sorry. Oh, let me try to find that lady's profile again, and I'll show you. Okay, share the screen again. Okay, you'll see the picture of the little boy. Here's her Facebook profile. She makes it look like she works there the way she's got it Victory Daycare right here. They said she worked at a liquor store, I believe. And looked like she's trying to present herself as being a caring mom. And this is the little boy right here, y'all. Excuse me. I believe this is him right here. Support Brian and the Lockman Folks Elementary Readathon. And somebody wrote under it, throw her in the ocean with her hands tied behind her back. So she's going like this, sponsoring and everything, acting like she's a really good mom and everything, right? Trying to present herself. It's sickening, y'all. Yes, she lived in Davenport, Florida. They're still investigating. Well, she hope they lock her up for good and throw away the key. Thanks so much, everyone. This got me so sentimental and emotional. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Get the word out of this hideous. They are being investigated at this moment. So please get the word out. Thank you so much. And I think the daddy needs to be held accountable too, even if he wasn't there during some of the times. The injuries, he's got to know about her anger. He's got to know something. As much as she did to him, he's got to know. I mean, he's got to know. The other one knows, and then they do nothing a lot of times. Thanks everyone for coming. I appreciate y'all. God bless y'all.